Hi. Do you want the best players on the game? Wait, do you want the best player on the game? Bin off Ronaldo, get D-Money, get all the D-Money. So you want the best players? Make sure to check out FIFAcoin.com for cheap, reliable, and 24-hour support. The safest place to get your coin. And make sure to use the code MONEY at the checkout to get yourself a cheeky discount. So let's get into the video. FIFA at times can be a bit like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. And on topic of different types of FIFA, from FIFA 10, FIFA 12, FIFA 14, FIFA 19, FIFA 17, the list goes on, from the releases of FIFA in the last 10 years or the last decade, that some people love other types of FIFAs and others absolutely despise it. So what's better to do than to do something that will most likely end up pissing off people in the comments? I'm not gonna lie, I'm used to it anyway. So in this video I'm gonna be ranking FIFAs from FIFA 10 to FIFA 19. Now over a year ago I did a video similar to this, well pretty much the same thing to this, without FIFA 19 of course, but because since then we've doubled in size and had a brand new audience almost, I think it'd be a good idea to do it all over again and get you guys new ideas about things. So maybe we would have a new number one. So with that said, let's get into the best FIFAs ranked from worst to best. Now of course, which comes with the word itself, ranking, it's subjective. Therefore this is mainly my opinion, but I have asked you guys on my social medias, on Twitter at official Vizeh, go follow me if you guys are not already. I put out a tweet asking for you guys to go give me your top 5, give me your best FIFAs, and to hear off you guys so that you guys can help me all around community countdown here, because yes, it is partly my opinion from when I played it. I've played each FIFA since FIFA 03, so I know a lot about FIFA, even though maybe only the age of 20. I think that there's a lot to keep in mind here, and my opinion has slightly changed since last year's video, because my kind of mentality of how the game is run, how the game is perceived, has kind of skewed a bit since last time. So if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, and make sure to go smash a like button, lads, and subscribe if you're new for brand new terrible content. Oh, that's gonna be a fantastic day, boys. And also, I'm gonna try my best to not get mixed with the YouTube side of things. So this is strictly about the game itself, not with the YouTube kind of influx that came around it. So maybe some FIFAs had better periods of time with the FIFA community. So with that said, yeah, let's go. So let's get into it, boys. So the worst FIFA, thanks to you guys and also for my personal opinion, and if you guys know about me, you guys know what it is already, it's going to be FIFA 16. Now, why is FIFA 16 so low on this list? Well, number one, I think the all-round look of the game, the feel of the game just seems quite slow, and it seems a bit odd to me. I think design-wise, it just wasn't as memorable like, and gameplay-wise, from what I remember from it, it felt like it was in a development stage, as if it didn't know what it really was. Like, was it FIFA 15 or FIFA 17? It felt like a bit of both, which when you have both of those kind of gameplays mixed into one kind of game, it kind of makes it a bit odd. And if you look back in the main features of FIFA 16, number one was women's mode, which okay, next up, foot draft. Now foot draft is a really good feature in the game if you have a lot of time in your hands and you're in fact a really good player. If you're not, then it's not really that useful to you, although always not lost, because FIFA 16 actually is something that is somewhat useful for FIFA, and it's not for Ultimate Team, it's for career mode, which in fact brought in the first player training into the game, which to be fair is actually a very good way to get your players upgraded, which, you know what, compared to nowadays, that's a big improvement. It's not like some bullshit like licensing, even though it was already in the game beforehand, but because it's got a shiny new logo, it's apparently a new feature. Shut the fuck up, it's the same thing as what it was the last season, it just has a shiny logo now. Congratulations, guys. The soundtrack for FIFA 16 was subpar, and just all around, the kind of feel of the game, the look of the game, just isn't one that really rings in the memory of many FIFA fans, and I think for that alone, for what it brought to the table, it brought a few good things that was brought along, such as dynamic images for informs, but other than that, I just feel like it's just kind of, maybe it's just been thrown under the carpet. But yeah, FIFA 16 for me, I think it's probably one of the worst ones we've had of date. I mean, you likely will disagree with me, which I expect, because it's a video about opinions, but yeah. FIFA 16. Next up in the countdown is going to be FIFA 18. Now, the reason why I've put FIFA 18 here is because there's not much that FIFA 18 actually put to the table that actually improved the game that much. It brought squad battles and a really aids OP way to score FIFA, to play FIFA, which is low drivens, and that's really it. Low drivens was pretty much the only real way to score in this game. If you got to low drivens under your belt, then you've pretty much won each fucking game. Looking back on when I played FIFA 18 last year, I realized that I barely even played. I played like 2-3 weekend leagues, and weekend league being 40 games still is really annoying. when it's the second year of 40 games per weekend for any professional player, that will really bring a massive stress factor to many players. And that's why we saw a lot of pro players last year retire, because it just takes too much time. And for me personally, the reason why I've put this so low is because FIFA 18 had the World Cup in his hands, in his favor. With the World Cup, you could do so much cool shit, so much that could make the game fun for everyone. Not to make their own World Cup game, which they've always done, which I found amazing. They've been that off and just made a specific World Cup Ultimate Team mode, which, by the way, yeah, it kind of died within 4 days, because EA thought it was a great idea to make a guaranteed icon SBC. Therefore, each game you face against icons the entire time. I would not complain if it was like maybe near the end of the World Cup or right at the end, you know, that everyone could get an icon, you know, the icon SBC. I get it, but within 4 days really killed the hype, because the entire point was a road to glory. What's the point of having a brand new mode of the game, which you should get the best team in the game within 2 or 3 days if you're already loaded? It was completely just stupid. And to this day, I'm still pissed off at the fact that my World Cup experience with FIFA was kind of just took away from me, because if you had a lot of money, it was almost like, oh yeah, pay to win is still a thing in a specific game mode. Not like the normal auto team wasn't already pay to fucking win enough as it is. So yeah, just for that alone with the World Cup and how they kind of went around with that really did annoy me. So for me, that's why it's so low. Career mode and also pro clubs did not get much improvement. And guys, this is FIFA. This is not giving me specifically just on my ultimate team. This is FIFA, the entire game, career mode, pro clubs, and also auto team. This is FIFA altogether. Now, next up in the countdown, now you may be very surprised, and I don't know why you would be, but FIFA 19 is the 7th worst FIFA for me. And even though I play this game a lot, I still think that if you aren't someone like me, which is a YouTuber, which therefore play the game pretty much every day and keep up to date with the game every day, if you're someone that gets off the game for like a couple of weeks or a month, you might as well say goodbye to having any chance of performing at any level on FUT Champions. I'm being dead on serious. This game is already insanely just pay to win right now. Literally, the players that you have, like a Hullet compared to a, let's say, Fabinho, is literally outstanding, the difference that there is. And so imagine that one massive difference with that one player. Imagine 11 players with massive differences in icons. So you may be there like, oh wait, but do you think it's that bad? It's that low in the countdown, then why would you still play it? But that's because I can perform well with FIFA 19, because I play the game quite often. Therefore, I keep up to date with my team, and I keep up with the general standard of opponent. Now, if you aren't someone like me and you play a game, you know, once, twice, 3 times a week with mates in that, and you aren't that bothered, you don't grind that much for division rivals or for champions or SBCs, then you likely will fall behind, and therefore the massive differences in these teams is absolutely insane. Not just to mention the fact that kickoff boost is still a thing, and finesse shots, time finesse shots, the time finishing feature is literally game breaking. Game fucking breaking. That literally, it's insane how OP this is. You literally don't even need to have one single understanding of football and how football works to break a team down, to pass it around someone, to work through the defense, to get a through ball past them. Literally, you could set your player off through on goal 5 yards ahead, and he'll still be and even if his pace is incredibly more better than his defender, it will still be caught up. So even when you break down your opponent's defense, you still don't get the reward from it, from breaking them down and then being by the defender. But you just doing a single time finesse shot from a 180-degree angle is perfectly fine. I think this game has many flaws, and honestly, I'm only dealing with it because I play the game on a regular basis because it's my job. But if you don't, then honestly, I don't know how many people even cope with this game. Literally, a saving grace of the reason why this is just above FIFA 18 is because of the fact that FUT Champions is 30 games a weekend and not 40. That's literally probably the only reason why it's above FIFA 18, is because it's 30 games a weekend. And I thank EA every fucking day for that. Otherwise, I would not be able to do it. I would not be able to do it at all. So 30 games from 40 is literally the reason why it's not that low down. So to EA, thank you. Now, next up is going to be FIFA 11. Now, FIFA 11 is a very nostalgic game, and not gonna lie, I doubt that half of you watching this video has even played FIFA 11. Now, I did. At that time, I would have been about 12, 15 years old, so of course, I would just have the best understanding of the game. I was still quite bad at the game back then. However, I still play the game often with my mates or with my brother. My brother was, in fact, a competitive FIFA player actually back then. Yes, competitive FIFA was still back in FIFA 11. Trust me, I don't know how it happened, but it did. But yeah, FIFA 11 had a lot of great things going about it. It was a very fun game to play, and there was many players that you can go and play with on Auto Team or just on career mode. Career mode had a lot to go about it, you know. I think that there's a lot to do in this game, which is not just Auto Team. Like, there's a new creation studio, there's a virtual pro, there's even be a goalkeeper. They tried that. They tried out new things, which I thought is really nice, which isn't just Auto Team, which I think that alone kind of shows where we've come as a game, where EA just isn't bothering with anything that's not Ultimate Team related, because guess what? Because the money back then is not as prevalent as what it is now. So is FIFA 11 bad? Hell no, it's definitely not bad at all, and for me, it's one of the most fluid games of FIFA out there. However, it's just so sad to look back and think of things that's been almost took away from it, like just the importance of skill moves in the game. Back here, it was a very important part of the game. Your skill moves, you use it very well against opponents, and you're past them, and you are past them. They can't catch you up. However, it's almost been took apart. Now, that's up in the countdown where you've got FIFA 17. Now, the reason why this is above FIFA 18 and FIFA 19 is because this was the first FIFA that brought out FUT Champions, the first FIFA that brought out SBCs. SBCs is such an important change to the game, and I thank EA to this very day for bringing it into the game, because I don't know where I even would be without SBCs, honestly. I think we all need to thank EA just for thinking of that idea. I mean, we thought it beforehand, but it's actually good that they actually did it into the game, so thank EA for that. And of course, this was the first FIFA that EA brought in the journey. Now, the journey, if you love it or hate it, most people don't like it, but it was the first year that EA really tried something big, and I respect them for that. They tried something new that wasn't just Ultimate Team, and you know what? We've got to give EA credit for that. You know, like, execution may not be perfect, but they had a chance there to actually try their best to do something good for the community. And you know what? I think just for that alone, that puts it above FIFA 18 and FIFA 19, because that they've shown more effort than what they have in the last 2 years. FUT Champions, of course, was still 4 teams a weekend, which of course, because it was the first FIFA, we just kind of dealt with it. We just kind of like, just like, okay, well, we'll deal with it for now, because yes, it was still a pain in the arse, but because it was the first time to get like new rewards in the game, especially after the FIFA before this was FIFA 16, which is an absolute shit show. I feel like we just kind of dealt with it. So I think that this game was an all-round okay game. There was kickoff boost still an issue. There was a few glitches here and there, but to be fair, I think there's glitches with pretty much most FIFAs. I believe just the influx of SBCs for this year just really made it a lot more fun. So that is why FIFA 17 is where it is in this countdown. Next up in number 5 is going to be FIFA 10. Now, the reason why FIFA 10 is in this spot, which I think last year I put it quite low down, is because I didn't really understand how much it really added to the scene. And by that I mean brought a lot of features that changed the game to what it is now, which includes Auto Team, which includes Virtual Pro, Game Faces, which I think has been took away now, but Game Faces, Creation Studio, so many things that you could do with this game. Also, visuals of the game really changed this year, and it was a lot better back in FIFA 09 as well. All around, it's just great to play a FIFA that wasn't completely based about finesse shots. Now we are into the top 4. Now, this is extremely hard because each one of these 4 titles could really be number 1, number 2, it all depends on your own personal experience with these games. So this is going to be completely based on my opinion on the game, from how the game actually functions. So with that said, let's get into it. So number 4 is going to be FIFA 14. Now, there's really one reason why FIFA 14 is not in the top 3, because there's so many good things about the game which I remember, but the main issue I found was the fact that headers was just insane. I mean, literal game break. If you had Ibra or even someone like a Mandzukic, just cross the ball in and it brings the skill gap so low that it's actually insane. Corners were almost pretty much penalties half the time. Now, typically when you think of FIFAs in the best times, most people think of FIFA 14 kind of period, because this is where FIFA was in its peak, because of course this is when Legends was first introduced into the game. The chance to pack a legend, it made so many more people more interested in opening packs, because before that it was just a Ronaldo as the best player you could really get, or the odd in 4. The introduction of Legends was literally incredible, and I remember back in these days when Pele was so rare, literally so rare to get on the market. Like, I think there was like 3 Peles the entire year or something ridiculous like that. FIFA 14 also took on a brand new engine called Ignite, which also changed how you played the game compared to previous FIFAs, which some people loved, some people hate. Some people thought it was more weighted and it didn't feel as good to dribble the ball. Some people thought it was just right and it really represented how strong players can be in real life. Of course, it's all based on your opinion. I love FIFA 14, but from looking back in it, we think of the good parts, which are your trade offers, but looking back in it, there's a few things which really made it quite bad, and that was largely for me just headers. I looked back on some of my old FIFA 14 videos and I realised that most of my goals I scored or conceded was all headers. It was the one true thing that really stopped it from becoming a great game. Speaking of career mode, however, it had a brand new vamp to the system that therefore meant that the World Cup mode was in the game, and also just international football was also implemented into career mode, which brought a brand new side of it, which was proper nice to see. I remember having my own player career for like a solid 7-8 years playing FIFA 14, which really is quite impressive to do nowadays. Now in the third spot we have FIFA 15. Now it was really tough for me to choose between the last few ones because of course it's all personal opinion, but I think as a community, I think as number 3 is safe. Main reason why is because gameplay wise, for me, it was one of the most balanced FIFAs there was around. There wasn't too many OP things about this game. I remember go around the goalkeeper, maybe like near post finishers was a bit of the meta thing to do. But into the balanced FIFA, I think this is one of the most balanced ones out there. Yes, pace was still important, but I still like that because there was many pacey players very cheap that you can get, which compared to nowadays, you really need high expected players to really stand a chance, which I prefer it this way around. If you could just get a Dubia or Lacazette or a Barbo, you stood a chance. Which, you know what, I still don't mind that. In terms of gameplay, especially for career mode, it made a massive overhaul in its entire menu system and how it looked in terms of Premier League, the animations and everything. It looked like a massive change compared to FIFA 14, and I really did like that. The menu system lives long in the memory, so does the soundtrack. Soundtrack was absolutely insane, and for me, I feel like everyone kind of has FIFA 15 like the top 3, top 4, top 5, like it's up there in terms of their favorite FIFAs, and I think that is why I put it third place for me. I really did enjoy it, and I thought it was fantastic. It's almost sad to see that it's almost grown old now. So with that said, FIFA 15, number 3. FIFA 12. Now FIFA 12, yet again, is a fantastic game, and I loved it because that you was able to use so many different players, so many different teams, the El Shaarawy's, Brasilvas, with the BPL teams, La Liga teams, even Serie A teams, so many good teams you can make around this FIFA. First FIFA that really brought in Team of the Years, a Blue Team of the Year cards, and also Team of the Seasons. This was incredible to the game, and it also added so much to it as well. There was a few drawbacks, such as the menu systems was a bit clunky. It was also just a bit, hard to get around the things, but other than that, gameplay wise, I loved it because it was so fluid. I remember getting to Division 1 in head-to-head seasons and thinking I was Thanos. I thought I was the best person in the world. I recorded my last game as if I was making my own YouTube video. I packed myself a FIFA 12, I think it was Julio Cesar in this, and I thought I packed Messi. Literally, like, the little things in this game really mattered. And don't forget career mode. Career mode, I had a massive save with Accrington Stanley and like Swansea back in these days. I just remember just playing the game for a lot more longer back then, maybe because I was younger, but it felt like the game just didn't get old. Like, you just had fun with it, and that was the best part about it. Finesse shots, yes, they were OP. Skill moves, yes, they were OP. Long shots, yeah, they were absolutely ridiculous half the time, but that's the point of a game, right? It's the point of having fun, and you know what? I think I had the most fun with this game as much as any of us, maybe matching with number 1. The only reason why this is not number 1 is because there was just not as much to do compared to the number 1 spot. I feel like, Ultimate Team, there was tournaments, and then there was Player Friend, and that was really it. There wasn't that much to do, so just for that reason alone, that's why it's number 2 for me. But gameplay wise, I absolutely couldn't believe that it just felt so fun to play, and that is the entire point of a football game. So number 2, FIFA 12. And here we go, lads, number 1, and it goes to FIFA 13. When it comes to all-round package game, from fun factor to content to the look of the game to the feel of the game to the sounds of the game, I feel like FIFA 13 is the all-round package, in my opinion. Now, before you get your pitchforks at me saying, oh no, it's obviously 12, oh no, it's obviously 11, oh no, it's obviously 14, hear me out, okay? So FIFA 13 for me was so incredibly fluid for me in terms of just a gameplay, similar to FIFA 12, and the only reason why it's above FIFA 12 is because there was just a bit more to do, in my opinion. I think it looked a bit better, the menus were a lot more faster than FIFA 12, it brought in seasons into Ultimate Team. When it comes to nostalgia of FIFA 13, I remember playing this game from like 5 in the morning, like waking up like hours early before school just to play a game or two of Ultimate Team with Asaidi as left wing, Sturridge, and I think even Adam Johnson was in this game, and he was actually not a bad card. Ramirez, and there were so many different types of teams you could use as well. Silvers are still OP back then, you know, BPL Silvers, Bundesliga cards, Serie A cards, Silver cards, Brazilian cards, La Liga cards, literally so many amazing teams and fun teams you can make back in this FIFA, because the gameplay was fluid. You can score long shots, you can score finesse shots, you can score corners, you can score headers, you can score many ranges of goals, and I feel like as an all-round game, for me, FIFA 13 was the best. Now, I did look back on last year's video about ranking the best FIFAs, and I actually put FIFA 14 best, but that was probably me being ignorant of the actual gameplay itself and more focusing on the YouTube side of things. Now, this is why I've put in FIFA 13 number 1, is because as an all-round package game, I feel like this is probably the most fluid to play, the most fun to play, and the most stuff to do. And also, career mode was still fun to do, it was all nice and polished, and pro clubs also had a lot more to do as well. So for me, FIFA 13 is number 1 in the best FIFAs in the last decade. So that's it, guys. That is my countdown. Now, I know that you will disagree with parts of this video. You may agree with some parts, and not gonna lie, I can't win with everyone. But let me know your opinions down below in the comments of your favorite FIFAs, and maybe give me your worst FIFAs as well. And just tell me why you think I'm wrong, because end of the day, I can't please everyone. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like the video if you did enjoy this video, and just have a bit of nostalgia, because nostalgia is a great thing to do, and especially right now, as people just may not be getting along with FIFA 19, I feel like it's important to bring it back now. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. My name is Vizeh. I'll see you next time.